Call to order the meeting, July 9th, 2019, Board of Aldermen. Roll call, please.
Alderman King.
Here.
Alderman Stokes. Alderman Tripp.
Here.
Alderman Vaccaro.
Here.
Alderman Cassetti.
Here.
Alderman Philippone.
Here.
Alderman Dempsey. Alderman Kaslides. Alderman Yaman.
Here.
Alderman Rivers.
Here.
Alderman O'Brien. Alderman Short.
Here.
Alderman Blackwell.
Here.
Alderman DeLeo.
Here.
10 present, 4 absent.
Declare quorum. Before we go with consideration of previous minutes, I'd like to ask for a motion to add the discussion of the Red Wing Pond House contract to executive session. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Alderman, is there a second? Mr. Philippone? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Consideration of previous minutes. Is there a motion to approve previous minutes? Mr. Philippone? Mr. Rivers, second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Public session. Would anyone from the public wish to speak? Would anyone from the public wish to speak? Yes, sir. Please come forward. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Natal Jaimo, 93 South Cook Street. I came before this board last year on January 9th concerning a piece of property on Ford Street that I was seeking abandonment for. It was approved by this board unanimously, sent to Planning and Zoning, which approved it unanimously. Talked to the city engineer, he's in favor of it, but here it is a year and a half later, and still I have heard nothing as to what's going on with it, and I was just wondering if I could get some answers.
What was the request was to acquire
Yes,
the abandoned piece of property?
right.
Okay.
The property,
What's the address?
40, well, the property address is 49 4th Street. The property was supposed to be abandoned to the adjacent property owners in 1978, according to the state. It's on file at the city engineer's office.
Okay.
It was never done. I came before this board once, everything was approved, then they changed their mind, and because there was some issues. I came before with a revised plan last year. It was approved by this board, it was sent to Planning and Zoning,
Approved.
which approved it unanimously. I've since talked to the city engineer, he sees no issues with it, he's in favor of it. But like I said, a year and a half has gone by and I still don't know where it stands, what's going on with it.
Okay. I'm gonna get your contact information and then we'll get back to you tomorrow. We'll find out and give you an answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else from the public wish to speak? Please come forward and name and address for the record, please.
Hey, Rivers Yankee, 21 Castle Lane. I'd like to bring something up that was rumors going around about the mayor being in a rehab. Mayor was in Italy, okay, because I was hearing that in Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, the mayor was in Italy because his mother-in-law was sick. Okay, I'd like to bring that out to the public because people going around Dunkin' Donuts talking bad about it. Then another thing, I got up there in the corner, no housing authority buildings for sale. Maybe you could reach out to the state and have them come in and buy that building because that's the narrowest bridge around. And that bridge, they could widen that bridge if they take that building. That building's up for sale for lease. Take that corner there of the housing authority, have the state come and buy that building. They could widen that bridge. Because years ago, they took a corner from Farrell's to widen that corner from that side. Because out of all three bridges, that's the smallest bridge, width-wise.
Thank you, Mr. Vizzanti. Appreciate your information. Would anyone else from the public wish to speak? Would anyone else from the public wish to speak? Third and final call. Would anyone else from the public wish to speak? Hearing none, seeing none, public session is closed. Public official session. Mayor Cassetti, please.
Good evening, President Vaccaro, members of the Board of Aldermen, and residents of the great city of Ansonia. I want to wish you all a belated happy 4th of July. I hope you all enjoyed your brief Independence Day holiday and that you are rested and ready for an exciting summer. Because I can assure you the next 2 months will be a whirlwind of activity. We have a lot to accomplish for the residents of Ansonia, and I hope you are just as excited as I am to get to work. First, I want to extend a sincere congratulations to Dr. Joseph DeBacco, who just last week took office as Ansonia School's new superintendent. Dr. DeBacco brings a wealth of experience to the position, including his time as principal at Hamden's Shepherd Glen School, and assistant superintendent of our own school district. Dr. DeBacco, I want to extend not only my congratulations, but also the city's hand in a new partnership with Ansonia Schools and the Board of Education. On behalf of the Board of Aldermen and city officials, I want to offer you a permanent invitation to our monthly meetings and a seat at the table in all that we do. And that goes not only for you, but for every member of the Ansonia Board of Education. It's no secret that Connecticut cities are facing unprecedented challenges. What matters is how we meet those challenges. I know I speak for many in this room when I say that by working together, we have the greatest chance of success for our residents, students, seniors, and teachers. We must face the future as one community. That's why I am very excited to take the next step tonight on a project that was set in motion by you, Dr. DeBacco, months ago. Dr. DeBacco, we heard you loud and clear when you articulated the need for a new middle school facility. It is also clear that the potential for regionalization creates a tremendous opportunity, not only for education in Ansonia, but elsewhere in the valley. So tonight, I am hereby announcing the creation of a school building commission, which I'm going to pass out now. I'll start here. In accordance with Article 11 of the City Code, it will consist of 12 individuals, 2 from the Board of Education, or rather 3 from the Board of Education, 3 from the Board of Aldermen, 3 from the Board of Apportionment and Taxation, and 3 residents of this city. Please accept the letter of my appointments, which I will make available at the city clerk's office tomorrow. The School Building Commission will be tasked with studying the needs of the school system and will report back to this board on its findings. I am hoping that the first meeting will be held this month. Now, I told you this month would be busy, right? Well, let's continue. In spirit of the cooperation must not be restricted to the borders of Ansonia. That's why I am also proposing the formation of a 3-member ad hoc committee tonight to explore opportunities for shared services with surrounding municipalities. I'm proposing the formation of a small committee to conduct discussion with our neighboring cities and towns. We will report our progress back to this board in August. I urge the board to please take action on this tonight. And here are some updates. We are poised to proceed on 2 major projects this summer. The new police station is scheduled to be under construction by September. The bids are due back within a month. Additionally, we are patiently waiting for a letter to proceed from the state DOT for our sidewalk project on Pulaski Highway and Prindle Avenue. Finally, let me end with some reminders. It will be a day in the parks for Ansonia residents on Saturday, July 20th. Our reopening of Colony Park, Abe Stone Park, will be held starting at 11 a.m., which of course features the official opening of the Colony Pond for boating. Additionally, the Valley Arts Council will be holding an Arts in the Park event starting at 3 p.m. that day, right here at City Hall's Veteran Park. The schedule for our summer concert series is now available, which will of course build up to our August 24th big Rock the Valley events. Fireworks will return to Nolan Field, along with the performance by Draw the Line, an excellent Aerosmith cover band. Like Aerosmith would say, it's time to get back in the saddle again and get to work. I look forward to getting to work for our residents Thank you, and God bless the city of Ansonia.
Mr. Marini.
Mr. President, members of the board, I just asked, we have some issues for executive session. I would just ask that the agenda be amended to include the Red Wing Pond House.
Done.
So that's
Yep.
on. Other than that, the real bulk of the issues are for executive session.
Very good, thank you. Sheila O'Malley?
Thank you, President Vaccaro, and members of the Board of Aldermen. The Mayor mentioned Pulaski Highway. Our engineers have instructed, pending your approval tonight, to go ahead with Grasso Construction and to have them start mobilizing. We expect that an award letter, I received notification from DOT today that an award letter will be, we should have by tomorrow. So we will be, hopefully with this board's approval, going with Grasso Construction, and there's a request on the agenda to approve that so that that project can begin within the next week or so. Let's see what else we have. PD building. There was a walkthrough this morning at 10 o'clock, and there were approximately 17 contractors. Some of them were subs, but that was a good showing, so that's encouraging, and I'm getting a lot of requests for information, so hopefully the bids will come in lower than the estimate. And that bid will be awarded on July 26th. And then the contractor will be given a notice to proceed the following month, and should be seeing some construction and renovation activity occurring in August. So that's very exciting. Community connectivity, the surveying is complete. They're starting on the design. Hopefully that will be done this summer. And you will see the sidewalk project for Main Street begin as well, almost simultaneously with the PD station. I did talk about EPA. They did notify us that we are getting funding for SHW, and some of that funding will be remediation, some will be assessment, and some will be demolition. Which is really important because Rug Pad, which is adjacent to that parcel, is looking to expand and increase their employee base by another 100 and another 100,000 square feet. And so that SHW makes the most sense for them to expand to. That's a 3.5 acre parcel. It does have issues as well as Ansonia Copper and Brass, but it's the next logical step for Rug Pad, and it means a lot of new jobs if we can make that expansion happen or help to make it happen. Our bar grant, we're almost 3/4 of the way through. I'll be making a presentation and have our engineers here to talk about Ansonia Copper and Brass, everything that we've gathered, all the detail. It's a rather detailed report. It'll be very long report. I'll do a PowerPoint presentation, maybe 3,000 slides or so. But anyway, we have a really good amount of information on Ansonia Copper and Brass, so that would be helpful with going forward with the assessment and remediation. I think that's it for now. Are there any questions?
Yes, through the
Yes,
President
Alderman
voted well.
Tripp.
Just a question, has the paperwork for the FDA loan to finance the police station been filed yet?
The, are you talking about
I
the,
remember a Board of Aldermen meeting where you
Yeah.
specifically stated that we will be getting an FDA loan because we are a small city, less than 20,000 people.
it's USDA.
USDA, wrong federal agency.
Yeah,
sorry.
it was USDA, and after talking with our financial advisors, our finance team, and our bond counsel, we decided that it would be more fiscally prudent to go with bonding. The rates are lower, the terms were better, and the amortization schedule was better for to go with bonding.
So will that be on the November ballot?
No, we already approved to borrow the money because you'd have to borrow the money for USDA. Either way, you're still borrowing. you're borrowing with USDA for 40 years, or you're borrowing with the city for whatever 30-year term.
So it's going to be bonded funds then?
Yes, bond. Either way, it was bonded, but USDA would loan you the money, and they were longer. It was a longer period of time. And our bond, our financial advisor said, go with a shorter term with a lower interest rate. The city's interest rate is, what we can earn now is pretty low. So that's the direction we decided to move in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Marini, yes.
I just wanted to back up. I wanted to convey, I was going to save it for the committee updates, but I wanted to kind of express it now. Recreation Commission has been in contact with the mayor's office, and they would like to meet with the ordinance committee of the Board of Aldermen in the very near future, hopefully this month. And in the general idea is they would like to see essentially a fusion of recreation with public works. It's come up time and time again that really a lot of what recreation does involves our recreational facilities, the parks. And the communication is imperative to make sure that playing conditions, among many other things, are correct. And they like to explore making changes in a concrete way. They have some ideas, and they would like to have a joint meeting. And they'd like to just pass it on to the board to schedule that, or at least get ready to schedule that for later in the month.
And Mr. Yaman, you're on that, right? Perfect. Thank you. Greg Martin is not here tonight. He's been ill this past week. He was in today, but he's not doing that great. So we're going to skip over Greg and go right to Kim DeStefano, please. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Things are going well up in the finance department. We're working on getting the budget books together for the 1920 adopted budget. I'm just waiting on the front cover sheet that should arrive tomorrow. So we should be able to put those together and get those out very soon. Just kind of getting ready, completing all our daily entries to kind of firm up the year end. Now we're just working on some accounts receivable and some deferred revenue, that type of thing, to clean up 18-19 and get that all set as we move into the next fiscal year. The new ledger isn't up. We're working on getting that ready. Hopefully by the end of the week, early next week, we should be able to get that up and running so that we can start pulling some POs for the new year. There's a couple of transfers on tonight's municipal report that needed approval. There were a couple of lines that ran a little short this year, so we need to make a couple of transfers. We also today met with Joe DeBacco from the Board of Ed and Lisa Jones. Talked about the node software that we're going to need to invest in shortly, so that we can all be on the same platform. So we're working to get a representative to come out and give us a demonstration with some more members from Ansonia so that we can take a look at what they have to offer and how it would work for us. That's about it. Any questions?
Any questions, gentlemen? Thank you, Kim. Chief Coda, please.
Good evening, everyone. Quick, today we had an officer actually retired today. It was his last day. He had 21 years on the department. He's moving on to another field. The other night, last Wednesday, the mayor pushed for 2 new hires to replace our 2 retirees. They've been approved by the Board of Police Commissioners. They're going to be starting the academy in Waterbury Academy, August 8th. So Catherine Semerero, she's actually an arms employee at the current moment, and a young gentleman named Brian Canavy of North Branford, a Frontier employee. So they're coming on board with us in August, and we'll see them in the early spring next year when they get out of the academy. So we're grateful to be able to replace those 2 employees so we can keep our staffing levels where we like. We're working on I think I may have told you in our last meeting, we're working on the shooting from Main Street and Leicester Street. We've got some leads there that we're continuing to work on. Hopefully we'll get some more stuff from our state lab that can help us identify who was involved. The other night, another agency had a pursuit through town. The car lost control and crashed into the Frontier boxes up at Wakely Avenue. Did some significant damage to those. Frontier's been up there, I think, every day since early Saturday morning. They've been up there. We're working on that in conjunction with the state police and Derby police to try to piece that together and make some further arrests. We're preparing, as was mentioned, for Rock the Valley and our back to school rally. That'll happen in August for the police departments. We're also, and I made mention in the past, we were able to get some funds donated by different employees and police officers for a Channel 3 Kids Camp. We're happy to announce in 2 weeks, we have our first child that the police department of the city are sponsoring to go up there for a week on our behalf. So it's a local resident, one of our young kids. Mom is very happy, so we're going to move forward with that and hopefully increase that next year. And then our last, Sheila talked about the building. We had the walkthrough today. That's moving along. Hopefully on the 26th, I think.
Yes.
We'll open the bids, review those, and hopefully have something before you in August to start the process on the new building. And then last Wednesday, the police commission also made mention that they hope to have a permanent chief in the spot by September, in a meeting in September. So that will include some interviews with both the police commissioners and a board of police chiefs from other towns. I'm assuming that looks like it's going to be happening in August for a September meeting, hopefully. If I can answer any questions.
Any questions for Chief Coda? Wow, okay. Thanks, Chief. Mike DeLessio, are you in the house? Yes, he is.
Good evening, everyone. This is my busy time of year, Public Works. Men are out installing playground mulch, finally at the playgrounds. We got some playground mulch ordered up, and first time in a long time we're getting some playground mulch so the kids don't get hurt. So we're taking care of all the playgrounds throughout the city, replacing curb, potholes. We're out, got a crew doing that. Avestone Park this past 2 weeks, we put picnic tables, grills, signages, volleyball court, boat dock. So Public Works been very busy this past few weeks up at Avestone Park. Cutting brush on the roadsides, still picking up bulk on the city streets, even though it's empty. People just move out and they just throw it out in the street. You can't leave it out there, so we pick it up. I mean, Blight can't handle all the messes, so we just get out there and keep picking stuff up. Maybe I should put some kind of letter in the tax bills letting the landlords know that their tenants just can't move out and throw stuff out in the street. That's our biggest problem. I think the tenants are moving out. They're not the homeowners that live there. It's these multi-family houses. Their tenants move out. They just throw stuff out in the street. It looks like a mess. So I have a crew going around every day just picking up bag leaves, brush, bulk, just to try to keep the streets clean. Also, I was out at the Ansonia Housing Authority cleaning their catch basins this week. They gave us some used equipment, so in kind, we're out there cleaning some of their catch basins. And the city of Derby starting using our fuel pumps this week. It's working out pretty good. You don't even know they're there. They come in different times of the day. We're going to start keeping reports weekly, and hopefully at the end of the month, get a report, send it to finance, get the money from Derby so they can pay for the usage. Other than that, it's busy this time of year. Grass is growing. Vacations are just starting to level off now, thank God. I got a full crew back to work, so we'll catch up. That's about it. Yes,
One thing, I noticed a couple of mattresses on the side of the road on Howard, right over between Mary and...
We grabbed them.
Oh, you grabbed them?
Yep. Yeah.
I saw them yesterday.
Yeah, we picked them up. Yep.
Okay, Mike.
That's fine.
Two things for you.
Yeah.
13 Thomason Street. Just what you said. People moved out and there's some stuff there, furniture there, leaves, bags. I mean, it's
Okay.
a big bulk of stuff.
I'll go by there tomorrow with a crew.
Yeah.
They were out today, and then they grabbed about 4 loads, just residual stuff throughout the city.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, like I said, multi-families.
Yeah, I know. I
People think, oh, just throw it on the
That's
curb,
not-
the city comes gets it. They
They
don't.
went and they threw out all kinds of...
Right, but I'll run on that tomorrow.
Okay, and a couple of signs, you know.
Yeah. Actually, I have a crew going tomorrow. Chief Coda gave me a list. I mean, we have a serious list.
Oh, you do? Okay, all right.
And I'm going to put a couple of my better guys out there with the
Get
levels.
the first one that scratched my truck.
Okay, I'll take care of that. I know the one. All right.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.
Mike, you and I had a discussion earlier about, in the interest of saving time, if an alderman has an issue to bring to your attention, rather than wait, say, 3.5 weeks to come to a meeting,
Oh, yeah.
to send you an email or call you on the phone, you could take care of the problem three weeks sooner than rather than wait
Yeah.
for the meeting.
If anybody has a problem,
So,
you can always
I know I've
contact
emailed you
me.
in the-
Yeah, I always see.
Yeah.
I've emailed you in the past and you were right on it, so.
Yep. Yeah, so if you have something,
remind
just
me
call
all-
me or stop down to the office or stop by the mayor, and mayor will contact me very quickly, you know? All right,
Like immediately he'll contact.
right, oh,
I know.
yeah, very good.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Right, one quick question on this. I spoke to you before about this up Smith, where it turns into Woodlawn, right
Yes,
on the corner. Oh, it's not really the corner, it's back.
yeah.
There's a problem with the trees. They're growing through the power lines. Last winter, they were blocking out, they block out the street light, makes it a deadly corner. It's zero visibility.
And that's on
Someone's walking.
an empty lot there.
I looked it up, who owns that lot. It's listed as part of Housing Authority
It is.
property where the trees are growing off.
All right,
So we have, it comes from their property, but it's our street.
yeah. Well, we
Someone
usually,
else's power lines.
we usually help them
So
out, but
who's gonna-
if it's at the power lines, I have to call the UI because we can't.
Oh, because last year it was going across and blocking everything out. Now the tree limbs are 10, 12 feet through the power lines. They're not just touching it, they're tangled in it. I'm afraid with the amount of disabled and elderly residents up there, if something happens, those branches will be, they're gonna take the power lines down. And
Yeah,
what are we gonna do with
I'll give UI
200
a
people
call.
in the
Usually if
wires?
it's touching the wires, they come out and remove them. We
They're
can't touch
touching, they
them.
move, they're actually sitting
All
on
right.
the wires.
I'll call UI tomorrow.
I did mention it at one housing meeting, no one paid any attention.
Yeah, they don't have the equipment to do it.
They don't.
Usually
No,
we
they
help
don't.
them kind of, but
They
in
would
a
have to
case,
hire.
case like this, the UI will have to handle that. I'll give them a call.
Yeah, because it's getting pretty bad, I'm just afraid of.
Oh, yeah.
With a storm, summertime and everything, anything happens, it's gonna take out power to all those people.
Next to that duplex they just built, that property there, it goes around.
A lot of those people are on life saving equipment and things, so power goes on there, we got problems.
You got it, Dan. I'll
Thank
call
you.
tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Mr. DeBacco, it's good to see you at our Alderman meeting, and it was great to see you at our school reorganization meeting last month. Would you like to address the board?
I just actually, if I could just say, I am encouraged and impressed by the meetings that I had today with, I met with Charlotte and Dennis one about finance, but also having Serene come in and share the news of the middle school construction. I mean, I sat there completely, I was encouraged. Taken back, but at the same time, absolutely encouraged for the future, because it's something that I know we see the commitment, but together I think we can do it. And I said it to you before here, and I didn't really know how to process it. And came in and sat right next to our business and finance person. It was just it was a great gift, a great surprise, but it's also probably long overdue. But I think together, I think we can make some things really, really happen. So I'm really encouraged, and I appreciate everything. I appreciate the openness, the honesty, the dialogue that we've had so far. So it's a great start, and you're a great city, and I'm just very happy to be part of it. So I just say thank you.
Thank you. You said it, together. We are together. Thank you. Thank you for your words. Committee reports. Finance Committee, Mr. Stahl was not here tonight. I'd like to ask for a motion to pay all bills that found to be accurate. Mr. Yaman, is there a second? Mr. King? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public Works Committee, Mr. D'Alessio already expounded on that. Arms Committee, Mr. Blackwell had to leave. He indicated that he had a...
On the agenda.
Right.
He handed me his stuff. I'll quickly give a report, and Chief Eon's here as well, so he could add if there's anything. But for the month of June, ARMS responded to 290 calls, 17 mutual aid, 14 of which were Derby, 1 to Seymour, 1 to Orange, and 1 to Monroe. And there were 4 received to Ansonia. And the total billing revenue for the month was $68,758.09.
Thank you.
I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that.
We are starting all of our repairs to the rate for our inspection. And all the vehicles this year, we go through state inspection every other year. This is 1 year, so we're starting to go through replacing tires, et cetera, things like that. And just so the full board knows, Derby is currently borrowing our spare truck right now. You should see it around Derby. They had one of their ambulances break down and require some extensive repairs. And unfortunately, their second ambulance on Sunday Probably not us. It's probably their guys that are running it. They're putting all their equipment and everything like that into it. And obviously the pool is tracked. We're in the same place now. So there's no expense on that, but it's just part of our EMS plan with mutual aid. And, commissioners are all aware of it, so us being fully aware of it. We have public communications coming up later on. So we'll address those. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Fire Commission, Mr. Schuer, is that you? Oh, Mr. Tripp, sure.
Are we allowed to ask a question, Mr. Hean?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Mr. Hean, could you just give me a general description of the status, mechanical status of Ansonia's arms ambulances?
The ambulances that we have, the spare truck is a 98.
Let's start with your newest vehicle, please.
The two newest vehicles are twins, they're 2017s.
Okay.
They are both, have about 15,000 miles each on them. We do a rotation, so everything is fair use, spread out. Sound mechanical condition on them, other than normal wear and tear items, tires, normal service, things like that. The next oldest truck is 2013. That's our Bravo 10. That vehicle is about 75% through its life, but it's in good shape. Obviously, we keep that up to par as well. That vehicle is completely out of warranty, so anything that happens to that vehicle, we're at an expense for. And our oldest frontline truck is our 2011, which is Bravo 8. Then our capital plan was supposed to be replaced in 2019, so we're probably push that to 2020, hopefully. That vehicle has had some struggles over the past 6 months with oil leaking. I just got a call today that it has a cracked case on the front of the motor, so it's getting to the end of its life. We planned the vehicles for 8-year replacement. This has been almost 9 years with this vehicle, so as they start getting older in life, we start incurring more problems. There's obviously no warranty on that. The new trucks that were purchased have a full 8-year Ford warranty on them. So we got smarter, and Ford had a better warranty available, which we purchased on the newer ones. So now our whole thought process is we won't have any surprises with the newer ones with the extended warranties lasting most likely the life of the car that we have.
Okay, just one follow-on question. How would you categorize the Derby, City of Derby's ambulance corps equipment, starting with the ambulances? Let me just shorten the question. Is Derby's equipment as new and as modern as Ansonia's?
They have a, I believe it's a 2015 or 16 ambulance. It's a medium duty ambulance, it's a larger ambulance. That, it's an international style ambulance. That was the one that was involved in the accident. So you can maintain it the best ever, but if it's in an accident, and it comes out of service, it's out of service. There are other ambulances in 2009 or 2010, and that's the one that they're trying to replace.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
WPCA Commission, anything to report, Mr. Filippone on WPCA, or Mr. King, either or?
We have a meeting tomorrow to go over the budget of WPCA before setting a final usage rate. Other than that, it's postponed from the regular meeting so we can look into the budget. Other than that, nothing else.
Thank you. Mr. Filippone, anything to add?
I was going to say the same thing, so.
Thank you. Fire Commission.
Hello again.
Hello.
So I got two things. Quickly, as a monthly report, for the month of June, the fire department responded to 52 calls, including 8 motor vehicle assists, 4 structure cooking fires, 3 gas leaks, 4 fuel spills, and 5 electrical hazards for a total of 52 calls. The fire marshal also conducted 2 investigations. And also on the, just mention that later in the agenda is resolution number 3, which entails something on the Valley Regional Fire School and the lack of funding, and hopefully you guys will, as a board, will support that. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions, Mr. Schiller? Ordinance Committee, Mr. Yaman, anything to report?
No meetings in the last month. As Attorney Marine mentioned, I'd like to schedule an ordinance meeting for July 24th, if we could. I don't know. Chief, we had talked about an ordinance. I don't know how that's going. Would that be available by then?
It would probably be available for a draft review. So in our police commission meeting last week, we're pretty sure we have what needs to be together. We're going to have another meeting with Griffin Hospital with Pat Charmel and his employees or staff there, just to make sure that we've covered it. But we're about there. So if you'd like to have the meeting and you want to discuss anything, I can get you a copy of the draft.
Yeah, if we could.
The plan is to meet with the hospital. I'll bring it back one more time to the commission for one final revision, if there is anything, and then present it to the ordinance committee. But if you'd like to have a draft copy, I'm not opposed to getting that to you to review.
I'd appreciate that. And then we'll meet with the rec commission. I don't know, Mike, do you want to be present? They're what they're talking about. On the 24th, that works? Okay.
What time?
7. 24? Yeah. Do 7 p.m.
Okay. Housing Authority, Mr. Cassetti, anything to report tonight?
Yeah, for May and June, the Ansonia Housing Authority received 3 estimates for a gazebo to be installed at John J. Stevens Apartments, 75 Central Street. The Housing Authority has received the score of, it's a Section 8 Management Assessment Program. It's a score of 145 out of 145, designating the Ansonia Housing Authority as a high-performing housing authority. There's a bid posting for the replacement windows at the O'Donnell Apartment, 63 Woodlawn Avenue, and the purchase of for scattered site house is slated to take place in the end of June. Quotes are in for the removal of 2 trees located at the John J. Stevens, 75 Central Street, and the RFP for the replacement of duct range hoods at Monsignor Hayes Apartments, 70 Woodlawn, is out for bid proposals. The consulting firm of Silver Petrocelli is in the process of completing the specs for replacement windows and air conditioning at the O'Donnell Apartments, and an RFP will be going out for replacement siding at the John J. Stevens Apartments, 75 Central Street. And that's the report.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Cassetti?
Just one. Mr. Cassetti, as far as, so we're in the process, we're going to be taking bids for the hoods. Because people up there have been asking me, that's a concern. It's a continuing problem, you know, but the way the apartments were originally constructed and modern smoke detectors, and they go out constantly.
Yeah.
So people have been really hounding me about, you know, when that was going to happen.
Well, the fire marshal is working with the housing authority, and at the last meeting,
So we'll say by the end of the summer, we'll know when it's going to.
he said there'd be progress. That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Joe, he also mentioned, he said everything's up to code. The fire marshal,
Yeah.
at that meeting.
Yeah.
So, as far as working on it, I mean.
We're in good standing as far as that goes, yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Any other committees? Okay, municipal reports. Mr. Yaman?
I don't know if you want to do this on the regionalization, separate regional committee. We met last month. We did get an enrollment report, both Ansonia and Derby, that was presented to us, and we're getting an additional report presented to us at the next meeting is the 19th, I believe, for the temporary regional school study committee. So we should have additional information there, and another report. We have a full report due to us in October.
Right.
Just to keep everybody up to date on that. So that progress is moving along.
Thank you, Mr. Yaman. Okay, municipal reports. There were 3 boat approvals. I'd like to have a motion to approve those motions 1, 2, and 3? Mr. Rivers, Mr. Motion, and then Mr. Cassetti, second. Any discussion, gentlemen? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Land Use Department report. I'm going to point out that Blight Department, Blight Enforcement, took in $13,495 the month of June, and thus far, total revenue for that is $36,828.02. Okay, tax collector report and request for refund. Is there a motion to refund tax department?
So,
Mr. Yaman, second by Mr. Rivers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Accidents and claims. We have 13 claims on the agenda. I'd like to have a motion to refer them to Corporation Council. Mr. Philippone, seconded by Mr. Yaman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Communication number 1 is from Sheila O'Malley. It's regarding the Prindle Avenue and Route 243 pedestrian enhancement project. Sheila is requesting your approval to award the construction contract to Grasso Companies from Norwalk with a final bid of $866,282, pending the Connecticut Department of Transportation's award letter. Motion to approve. Mr. Short, seconded by Mr. Cassetti. Any discussion?
One question.
Yes.
Is that the lowest bid?
That was a low bid, and I just want to point out that the engineer's estimate was 1.2 million. So it was much significantly lower, so that's a good thing. Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Resolutions. Resolution number 1. Resolution authorizing agreement by and between the City of Ansonia and the Valley Emergency Medical Services Incorporated contained in the attached. I'm reading on item number 6. To underwrite the cost of providing paramedic emergency response and readiness, the town shall pay to VEMS the annual sum of $32,000 payable each July. An automatic annual increase of up to 3% shall be applied for each subsequent year. I'm asking for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Cassetti, seconded by Mr. Short. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Heon, do you want to speak?
Just wanted to let you know that I am the president. I served in the mayor's seat on the board, and I've been the president since 2015 of VEMS, and we have not had to do an increase to the town since that time. So our first 3-year contract is expiring in October this year. We have not increased above the $32,000, and we hope that we don't have to increase again as well. So we're very proud that we kept the costs in line, and we set up work with all 5 Valley town owners. So it's a regional system that's been in place since the 1980s.
Thank you. Again, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Resolution number 2. This is from Rich Bashura. It's a resolution authorizing to pay voice over IP phone system. Mr. Bashura is here. You want to speak on this at all before I ask for a motion?
Yeah, briefly, this is just an extension to the voice over IP system. We decided to put the firewall system within the purview of Mitel and telecommunications. And because this is a lease agreement, it's basically, the bulk of it is for maintenance, 5-year maintenance. There'll be a lease agreement with a $1 purchase at the end of it. And it's an extension of what we're already doing. Payment will come from normal operating. There will be some savings that we generate from Frontier and from Comcast that will be used in the current operating budget for maintenance on the computer system and telecommunications that we'll use towards this, and the balance of it's in the budget. So it'll be about $20,000 a year. Total Communications was able to go back to Cisco, get some credits for the original plan on
use of these Meraki systems, which Jared is much more familiar with than I am. But they were also able to get them to give us a 0% interest over the life of 5 years on this also. And it's just an extension, but because it is a lease agreement, multi-year, it needs to come before the board for your approval.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Bashara? Wait, I want to read the motion. The motion is to approve a 5-year lease at 0% between the City of Ansonia and TCI, Mitel, and Cisco Systems to add the security firewalls and switches to complete the VoIP system purchase in the amount of $99,865.55, and further to allow the mayor to sign any and all contracts necessary to complete this transaction. Mr. Filippone, you make a motion?
Yes, sir. Second.
Mr. Rivers seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Resolution number 3. I will read this. Whereas the Ansonia Board of Aldermen strongly supports the establishment of a Valley Regional Fire School as a long-needed resource for our local fire departments and their volunteers, and whereas the gubernatorial candidate Governor Ned Lamont on November 2nd, 2018 made a campaign promise to Valley residents that he would support the construction of a Valley Regional Fire School, stating that, quote, "What you need is a governor who makes a decision and gets the job done," end of quotes. And whereas Governor Ned Lamont has failed to place funding for the Valley Regional Fire School on the state bonding agenda, though the governor alone sets the bonding commission agenda. And whereas all other pending regional fire school projects in Connecticut have received funding except the Valley Regional Fire School. Therefore, the Ansonia Board of Aldermen calls on the governor to issue a written apology to the residents of Ansonia and Valley Fire Departments for his failure to prioritize the Valley Regional Fire School as promised. Further, the Ansonia Board of Aldermen calls on Ned Lamont to definitively confirm that the Valley Fire School will be placed on the next state bonding agenda. Is there a motion to approve? Mr. Filippone, seconded by everybody. Mr. Schuer. Any discussion?
Let's do it.
Glad we're all in favor of this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Resolution number 4. Mr. DeLibero, I will read this. Whereas the Ansonia Board of Aldermen wish to honor the memory of the late Frank DeLibero and its accomplishments. 7th Ward Alderman, youth sports volunteer coach, and proud husband, father, and resident of Ansonia. And whereas the Ansonia Board of Aldermen wish to recognize and preserve within City Hall the spirit of optimism, goodwill, and collegiality that Frank DeLibero brought to city government and his interactions with fellow city officials and residents. And therefore, the Ansonia Board of Aldermen resolves to name the small conference room located on the first floor of City Hall as the Frank DeLibero Conference Room. Is there a motion to approve? Mr. DeLibero. Seconded by Mr. Schuer. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Resignations. We have 2 resignations. One is from Peter Danielczyk, and the other is from Paul Velarde from the Recreation Board. Peter is resigning from the Board of Apportionment and Taxation. I'd like to ask for a motion to thank both members and Mr. Rivers.
To accept the 2 resignations and send them a letter of thanks from the city.
Is there a second? Mr. Filippone? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Appointments, there are no appointments tonight. Nothing under ordinance. Okay. Under new business, I'm going to ask for a motion to, I'm going to appoint an ad hoc committee for the shared services. I'm going to ask that Mayor Cassetti be on that, as well as Mr. Yalman and Mr. Filippone. Is there a motion to approve those 3 gentlemen? Mr. Schuer, seconded by Mr. Rivers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carried. That's the ad hoc commission for shared services, where we're going to powwow with, you abstain? Abstention? Okay. Excuse me. Need a motion for this? No. No, okay. Anything else in the new business, gentlemen? Any old business? Okay, executive session.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Rivers, seconded by Mr. Filippo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're in executive session. Mr. Marini, who would you like?
Staff and finance office.
Okay.
Can I have
Right,
those
Chief.
back? You don't
Oh, yeah.
need it.